Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat. You hang out with me in here in my sewing room, and I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Just 20 minutes, you guys. That's all you got to do. All right. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And subscribe so you know when I am live or put out a video. Well, hello. Somebody's whining. Yeah, so let's do the dog thing, and then I can close the door and get them out of here so we don't have any kind of drama. Yeah. Hello there, Dottie. Yeah, you've been a good girl all morning, haven't you? Frito, you're hiding. Well, they can see you. Okay, one for you. Frito's such a good big sister. Frito is a stumpy tail Queensland cattle dog, and Miss Dottie is a cowboy corgi. It's kind of a new boutique breed. They have put out. Okay, and you guys ready to brush your teeth? There's yours, Frito. And let's get Dottie out. I'm gonna do this. Frito's leaving. Come on, let's go. Come on, Frito. Let's go. Out you go. Come on. Here, Dottie. Good girl. Frito, out. Frito, are we gonna do this again? Come on, out. Good girl. All right. Y'all, kids, huh? Kids. Yes, I know that quilt is still hanging on my long arm. I need to get that done. Y'all hold on to your seats. I'm going to lower the camera, okay? Yep. Love your day seeing my sweet puppies. I know. I tell you, they are a blessing. They really are. And Dottie, she's a pistol, y'all. She is a pistol. Okay, so yesterday, did I bring over my stuff that I finished? I think I did. I just want to make sure before I sit down. And let me pull over everything. I only got 2 blocks of the, let me sit this down. Y'all, I ordered another chair. Can you believe it? My back has been so crazy bad. Let me, come on down. This is the koala. This thing, I mean, it's an expensive chair. The koala is. It's not good. I can only sit up on the edge of it. And it's up right now because I was editing a members only video yesterday. And my rolling table here for my laptop is kind of tall. So I needed it up at like a drafting height. Let me pull you guys here. All right. Well, hello, Meredith in California. How you doing? Glad you are here. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching on a TV, you may need to grab the TV remote and hit the channel up button. That does a thumbs up as well. Awesome. So got a bunch of goodies in from the Fat Quarter Shop to share with you, and I wanted to go through those today, but I went to the San Antonio Quilt Guild Quilt Show last weekend, and I had wanted to show y'all some pictures from there and go over that just so you could see what kind of things are there. And let me pull it up on let me get my pictures going here from the first. All right, there we go. I'm going to get one going here and we will live full screen that there. So I'm a vendor gal. I like to wander around the vendor booths and whatnot, but I do like to stop and see the quilts too. So lots of stuff. We had several viewer sightings and that was fun. Me and my quilty buddy, Lisa, and her daughter were there. And Lisa is here in San Antonio from South Carolina for a new grandbaby. So she should be over there at the new grandbaby's house there. Connie loves the vendors. I know. I'm a gadget girl. And if there's something new and cool on the market, I definitely want to see it. I want to see new fabrics and new patterns and all of that. I think that's why influencing, being an online influencer is definitely my jam, because if there's something new and cool, I definitely want to see it. All right. It was a lot of fun. Y'all, we went to, there's a restaurant here in San Antonio called Alamo Cafe. And there's one, it's on 281 North, which is a highway. And it, oh my gosh, the food. It was so good. I took a picture of my plate And I sent it to my son and I said, I'm at Alamo Cafe. And he lives in Colorado Springs. And he's like, thanks, I'm starving. My son loves his Mexican food. Yeah. Y'all, gadgets are my thing. You know, I'm always looking for something to make life a little bit easier or more fun or whatever. So let's go through that before I get into all of this. It was at the Alzafar Shrine Temple. Let me share my screen with you guys. And first thing, stopped in at a booth, Susie Q's Valley Ranch Retreat and Event Center. And this was the first lady. She said, I watch you every day. So such a pleasure to run into people and see, you know, this is a vendor booth, but I bought this quilt table runner kit. I did get this one and it's a free pattern from Moda. So she actually quilted this and she showed me the custom quilting on it. It's beautiful. Did a wonderful, wonderful job. And this, this quilt is the best of show. Now, the quilts that are winning best of show and that kind of thing are very heavily, densely quilted. And you can, if you want to see all the quilts that were in the show, I didn't go around every one of them. If you want to see them all, you can certainly go to the San Antonio Quilt Guild Quilt Show, look that up, and then you can see all the quilts. But look at the back of that. So this one, that's from the custom quilting on it. Betty Boop, Lisa, is a custom quilter. And she said, because all of the blocks are pretty much quilted the same. And she said, I'd be sick of it after the first block. I'd be done. But that's the quilt right there. And that's just extraordinary. That is extraordinary, unbelievable. But look at what has happened with the custom quilting. Okay. It created a reverse, right? So the fabric popped out. Just unbelievable. The lady who custom quilted it is standing right over here. But look at this, you guys. That is just insane. Let me pull up YouTube so I can make sure I can see what you guys are seeing. Pardon me. And okay, there we go. The skill is just, let me zoom. Look at this. Look at those stitches. And then there's a relief, this right here. This is a relief. So you know that was all drawn out. And this was teeny tiny little stitches to create the relief. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, this was first place, I think, and I love this quilt. Absolutely loved it. Let's zoom in on it a little bit. Just take a look at this. Would y'all look at that? Oh, my goodness. I hope I see this in Houston. I hope I do. I think this is just outstanding. The little boy, y'all know I have a place in my heart, kids. There he is. I wanted to get up close so you could see. Look at the thread painting on his skin, on his arm and whatnot. Just crazy. Little pieces of fabric that are put on there and then stitched down, raw edge applique. Can you believe that? And again, the relief for the diamonds, that has to be all drawn out. Yeah, crazy. I got up close on his face there. This is something I really admire. I could never in a million years do this. There's just no way. I loved this one. This is wool applique. I pulled up on this one. Isn't that adorable? This is so stinking cute, you guys. I just loved this little quilt. It's not, actually not little. It's a big quilt. Again, raw. I don't know if that's turned or raw edge. I'm not sure. Let's get in here and look. Looks like it could have been snap-a-cade, huh? Sure does. Sure does. Might have been. Who knows? This is Linda Casillas. Linda was in charge of getting the vendors all together and everything. And this is her quilt right here in the back. This quilt, I just love Linda. Look at that face. She's just the sweetest person. Happy as could be. This quilt she made it and she put it in, and it's an Edita Sitar quilt. And I loved that quilt. I thought that was just fabulous. And then look at this one back here. This one I don't think I got a picture of it. Let me scroll over there. Sorry, Linda. This is a pixel quilt. Look at that. And there's a ribbon on it. I don't remember what kind, right behind that gentleman there. So pixel quilts are awesome. Definitely something very, very cool. There's Linda again. And here she is again. So you can see, yeah, she worked on getting all the vendors and everything all up there. They only had 3 of them not show at the last minute. And again, that's Linda's quilt. And I just love this quilt. I know Joy Bernhardt made it, and it is absolutely beautiful. I've seen it in person. I think Edita had it at Road to California. Just gorgeous. Very, very pretty. Look at the wind on it. See the breeze, the wind blowing through it. And y'all, I got to tell you, let me stop sharing this. I want to make sure, where did that go? Here it is. She said something to me, and she said, after seeing all the quilts that are winning in the show, she said, I don't even know why I bothered putting that quilt in. And that just broke my heart, because personally, I'm like, are you kidding me? That blue quilt of the houses brought me more joy personally than looking at those seriously quilted. You know, and I don't know why. I know, like, this quilt could actually be a snuggle quilt, right? And I feel like that is something that I could do. I know I could do it, right? I know that I could make that quilt, the houses quilt. And so that's inspiring to me that Linda did it, and it's hanging and she's proud of it, and it's just lovely. I hope none of you ever compare your work to those quilts that take a year to quilt, right? Just not to piece, just to do all of this. It takes a very, very special person to do all of that kind of quilting. Those are the quilts that are winning in all of the big major shows and everything. But you know, don't sell your own work short. You might be one of those people that can make those kind of quilts, but those densely stitched quilts, those people that can do that are very, very far and few between. Believe me, that quilt would probably not have won with just the piecing and an edge to edge on it. It wouldn't have done that, okay? It won because of the detailed, super good quilting that was done. That's why you see those, or thread painting and all of that. That's why you see those with ribbons in those big shows. But the people that can do that, there's only so many of those people in the world. The rest of us make gorgeous quilts. So if you have a quilt that you're very proud of, you love your points, you love your piecing, maybe you sent it to a long armor and it has a beautiful edge to edge on it, you guys put those into shows if you want. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. So, and you don't know that maybe one of those super densely quilted quilts might not even have been entered. You don't know what's going to be entered when you enter a quilt in a show. So I have seen several snap-a-cake quilts win ribbons. So, right. Betsy, boy, that went right up. Helen says, shout it, girl. I know. She says, Betsy said, doing that much work to compete in a show is not my idea of fun or something I would enjoy. I agree wholeheartedly. And a lot of the quilts that are super densely stitched that I see in Houston that have won, they're only this big. They're little bitty, right? That's an enormous amount of work. And the stress and tension it puts on your neck and your shoulders and your arms while you're doing all of this, that is not fun. But when I saw that, I really especially when Linda said that just touched me. I told her, I said, are you kidding me? I would much rather look at a quilt like that inspires me to say now, oh, I would love to make that quilt. Because I know in a million years, I could never make the other quilt, right? That's not my jam. I look at it and I'm like, okay, it's very interesting. It's very cool, but it is certainly, I could never make that. I could never make that. So I want to make sure on the photo library, I've got, let me see here. I have a couple more that I can show y'all. Let's see. Like I said, I did not get around to a whole bunch of the, I didn't get around to a whole bunch of the other quilts. I took some pictures of them. Now, y'all, there's Claudia. Claudia is the bag instructor at Stitched in Shirts. She and her husband came up, and it was Lisa who pointed this one out to me, a pixel quilt. And I was looking at it from the side going, I don't know what that is. And it's Clint Eastwood. You have to look at it from the front. And that's very cool. There were a lot of neat quilts there, you guys. And look, Claudia did a bag with that fabric that Laura Moon had made all those bags out of when I showed last March, when we were at, I just had a power surge. I saw my lights flickering. Are we okay here? Yeah, we're okay. And anyway, that's that crazy skull, I don't know, some kind of fabric. I don't know. I saw this. I love this little project. I thought that was cool. There's another. Now, see, here's an edit. Oh, no, this is a Bunny Hill Designs. Okay. And look, it got a ribbon. And I'm doing a snapplique of Bunny Hill Designs Prairie Days. I don't remember which one this is. Isn't that sweet? I love that. And to me, that is inspirational. Again, I love the blue and white quilt. Couple of viewers there hanging out, and we stopped again. I made a second loop through the vendors because I got to see what they have first. And then I got two of them. Well, somebody took two of them. Let me see. And there's the plate of food from the Alamo Cafe, y'all. I did some damage on that. It was excellent. And this is me and Lisa and her daughter, Allison. And I got one more, and that's a good one of us. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun to go to the quilt show. Go to the quilt show and then go to lunch. That's a perfect day, isn't it? I love it. Oh, I lost. Let me see here. There we go. Okay. All righty. You live in a quilt desert, Mel? That stinks. Too bad. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. Can you see me or not? Yeah, you can see me. I can see it on my phone. So while I was at the show, I did pick up some stuff. And so I wanted to show you. There was a vendor in the back that had all of these little animals made out of alpaca fur. And just adorable, right? Adorable, soft, love it. I said, oh, do you have a dog? Because my granddaughter is all about dogs and she would love an alpaca, a dog made from alpaca. And he said, yeah, we do. We do. And so he brought it over. And I had it here because I took my little Missouri Star bag with me to the show in case I was going to buy some stuff, right? And I had it in the bag, and I made the mistake. It was my fault, leaving the bag on the floor. And Dottie found the alpaca dog, and I took it away from her, and I put it back in the bag. And I, again, made the mistake of leaving the bag was on a table. I know you know where I'm going with this story already, right? So the bag was on a table, and then I got into it for something, and I made the mistake of leaving it on the floor. Well, while I was home, not a problem. But when I went out yesterday to an appointment and Daddy was babysitting, he was not paying attention. You know, when the dog is out of sight, out of mind, and very quiet, you know something's up, right? So it was a dog. So it is now minus an ear, right? I think I have it in here. Here's the ear. Yeah, here's the ear, and it's just as soft as can be. And y'all, you cannot blame her. She just, here's a little bit of the nose. The nose is gone. See the nose? That's that little piece right there. It's all tore off right there in the center. Now she looks like a poodle. This ear barely made it. It used to be up like they used to look like this. Sorry, Callie. So it's a $56 dog toy. Yeah, I fussed at Daddy. He said it was my fault for leaving it on the floor. He's right. We are both to blame. So I'm not going to let her have this because there are little bits of this all over. I'm finding them all over the house. Yeah, $56 right down the toilet. I should have known better. They are so soft. I feel bad that the people that were selling them, he said, we did not make these. They bought them and shipped them in from Peru, right? So it's not like it's custom. Still, I mean, they're custom things anyway. I feel bad. So no alpaca dog for Callie. Here is that table runner kit. Just love it. It is called Gather Around. Now, it's got Moda on the bottom. So I am assuming this is a free table runner pattern from Moda. Let me move and the kit included all of the fabrics except the backing. I have ordered the backing, and it's got a little mini charm in there. So you can see the mini charms in those little 9 patches. See those 9 patches on point? Recycle the fur in some applique. CR hat. I can't do that. My brain doesn't work like that. You know, now that you mention it, that would make a cool Santa beard, wouldn't it? Or some fuzz around. Yeah. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll just save the ear and see if I ever use that. I know I won't use the rest of the dog. Betty Boop says she won't. She knows me. She won't. Oh, Gather Around is gorgeous. Yes, Sylvia. She says Gather Around is gorgeous. So I like this. The backing they had on this one was made out of this focus fabric from the line. It's that one on the front of that mini charm right there. So I ordered a 1.5 yards of that for the backing. A Dottie dog applique. No. Oh, Betty Boot. Lisa says she'll fix it for me. I don't know. She's handy like that. Okay, so let me put this down. I got that. I got Betty Boop made me a couple of little stuffies. She gave me a boo. It's a little ornament. Isn't that cute? And the other thing is on my desk over there. It looks like a little, it's called a bobbin goblin, something or other. And when Dottie got into the bag for the alpaca dog, she found the little fuzzies sticking up off the head. So those are gone. Sorry, Lisa. And I picked it up off the floor, and it's somewhere. I had to rescue it too. That is still in one piece with the exception of the little fuzzies. I'm telling you, that dog is a pistol. She didn't get this one. No. Okay. Let's see here. That alpaca group is going to be at the Texas Fleece and Fiber Festival. Where is that at? Save the date. October 24th through the 26th. Save the date. It doesn't say where it's going to be. Would you look at that? I guess you can do the QR code if you are so inclined to look at that. If you want to scan that QR code, you can. But look, it doesn't say where it's going to be on this deal. Texas Fleece and Fiber Festival, save the date. And on the back, it's got join the fun, learn new skills, contact. They did not put where this is going to be on their flyer. Some people don't think, you know? Crazy. All right. So that alpaca group will be there. I got a very cute, Grome's was there, showing Grome Sewing was there. Real cute. It's a kit for a little table runner for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. They had a sample of that out. That was hilarious. That was fun. So I've got this. This looks like something I could easily put together and throw it on the long arm pretty quick and get that done. They had different colorways and I got the one with the red. So I bought that. My idea that is going to fit, that panel will fit on my 48-inch square dining table. And then I'll just put a tree in the middle of it and call it Christmas, right? That'll be good. And then there was an adorable panel. So my brother-in-law has 9 children. You heard me right. They're out in the Tempe, Mesa, Scottsdale area, okay? And they had a Harold the Hare quilt kit. And I have been neglectful making goodies for his grandchildren, my great-grand nephews, nieces. Elizabeth says it's going to be in Kerrville. Okay. So this picture doesn't do it justice. This is adorable. Boy or girl, either one, because those kids are having babies left, right, and center. We got babies. So I thought this is just, I saw it. Y'all know I love kids stuff. I'm a big kid at heart. Whimsical traditional quilter. Isn't that cute? Look at that. So I need to get Peter Rabbit on the long arm. I need to get Peter Rabbit put together. And on the long arm, that one can go. I could do this one up quickly and take it with me because I'm going to Tempe in November teaching at Mulqueen's. This is just adorable and easy. And then it had this fabric with it as a border, right? And then this is the inner border, maybe a binding. I don't know. I'll have to poke around. I'll put stuff with it, whatever. So, okay, and that's the end of the bag. Okay. Harold the Hare, that is called. Just precious. Okay. Well, Teresa says I have the Peter Rabbit kit too and yet to do it. Y'all, there's another Peter Rabbit one coming out. So get busy on that boxed kit that came with the little book, right? So I don't know if the next Peter Rabbit is going to come with a book or not. I need to ask the folks at Riley Blake if that's going to happen. And if you want to see, I've got links below the video to the Fat Quarter Shop, but I want to show y'all. I want to show you guys. Let me go here. I want to show you. I have signed up to be notified of things that are coming. All right. So let me share my screen with you guys. If you guys are I'm looking for something new to quilt and I don't know what, I want you guys to check out, use my links below to the Fat Quarter Shop. Okay. And when you get there, go to coming soon. Okay. This link right here gets you to what is on the way from the fabric manufacturers that have been ordered. Okay. So, lots of stuff in here. This, there's that designer mystery, the backing sets and all this new fabric coming out from Tula. Okay. Some of this stuff you can order the reservation fee. All right. And then you can just go through here. Here's a quilt kit coming out from Lori Holt. There are so many things coming, and I wanted to find that new. Be sure before you do the reservation, be sure to click on it, and it'll give you what the total price of the quilt will be. All right, but I wanted to get in here. I think it's on page 2 is where I saw the Peter Rabbit quilt that's coming. I go up to the top. Let's see. Look at these new fabrics coming out from Lori Holt. Just lovely stuff. I like to sit on here and look around. Lots of stuff coming for America 250, you guys, patriotic stuff and whatnot. So anyway, I just wanted to go through here. Y'all poke around on this website and find out, that way when you get a reservation, now they're expecting, I know once you do the reservation, you'll get an email that says, okay, it's here, you need to pay. And I don't know how many times they remind you before they give up your reservation. I love anything designed by Brenda Riddle. She has the cutest, most precious. Where's that Peter Rabbit? I guess I could do a search on it. Anyway, so this is where you see what is coming up, okay, is in the coming soon on the Fat Quarter Shop. All of whatnot is out there. All right, I'm going to quit doing that. But that's a really good way to get an idea of, because they do a pretty big buy at the, their buyers go to the spree at market, or they go to market where they sit down with all of the vendors of everything that's coming out, and they make their orders for what's coming up. Okay. And so they'll tell you on there when it's coming, and you can order it and, get a reservation in. That way you can kind of budget out what you think you want to do, and you're not caught flat-footed at the last minute when a gorgeous quilt comes out and you're like, oh, I got to have that, and it wasn't in your budget. So just trying to help you guys. All right. So yesterday I was working on Enchanted Winter by Kimberbell. Oh, I wanted to show you too. I did finish up. I bought this. Okay. This came in the spooky box. So got these done. I got these done. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And I just did it exactly like it said, stitch in the ditch, pretty much. It's not stitch in the ditch, it's quilt as you go. And then I had an extra inch all the way around on the binding. And I had this great idea that I was going to, I always have the luminaire set up to do embroidery. So I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch it out to a standard foot, and I'm going to do a beautiful, like a wave stitch on this, and then I have to make a black binding, a black bobbin, and I need to make sure I got black thread. And so I had this grand plan. And then I said, or I already have a black bobbin right here, and I've got a spool by my straight stitch machine, and I can just straight stitch and call it done. And that's what I did. So, best laid plans, but they're finished. And I did them both in about an hour and a half. So this is one of those June Taylor Quilt As You Go pre-printed batting things. Loved it. So are they placemats or a mug rug? Mary, they're called mug mats. No, they're not placemats. They're not big enough. They're not big enough. They're like 8 by 12 or 8 by 10 or something. I don't know. 8 by 10, 8 by 12, something. All right. Okay. So we were talking about, I did this yesterday. Okay. I love that, Linda. Linda says finished beats being alone in the box. So here is Welcome Winter. This is the first stitch out block for Enchanted Winter from Kimberbell. And here are my 2 snowflakes. Now I have the rhinestones to put on these. Get up close so you can see them. Didn't they stitch out beautiful? I forgot. So this outer line is a basting line. I'm going to unpick those. And then for the rest of the blocks, I'm not going to stitch that outer line because that gets in the way of my trimmer by George. So I will unpick those pretty easy. They're basting stitches. And then be able to trim these with the trimmer by George. And I'll show you how I use that in a future video. But if you have the embellishment kit, okay, and you're going to put the rhinestones on, then you don't do the second set of stitches for out here, like on the ends of this right here, there's a rhinestone that goes right there. Okay. So if you're going to put the rhinestones on, then you don't stitch those. It's in the book telling you not to do that. And I was, I had to order one of those rhinestone sticker honor thingies. I don't know what they're called. You know what I mean. Sticker honor thingies. Okay. Oh, there was a little charm on that fabric. That's cute. Little sun charm. That's adorable. Okay. I need another sip of coffee. Several years ago, I made, in conjunction with Hoop Sisters, I made this adorable little butterfly quilt. This fabric is by Poppy Cotton. And this is just gorgeous. Y'all, this has been rolled up, sitting in a drawer, hiding for 2 years. And so this is going with me to Tempe, Arizona as well, to be gifted to somebody who's got a little girl. Okay. And I have it, I need to, I had unpicked it to put hanging triangles on the back. So my plan, I need to finish stitching the top of this because I unpicked it. So I need to finish getting that done before I leave. But this is leaving my house and going to a great niece. So one of them. I have to admit, I don't keep up with that well because there's a lot of them. All right. Also, if you are doing Prim with us, okay, Prim is going to be the embroidery quilt from Lori Holt. And they have Cute Cuts rulers. Now, I've got the bundle. I got the Cute Cuts rulers. These are for centering your blocks. You need to get the ruler that is closest to whatever size you're going to be making, right? Because the blocks finish, like I'm doing the 6.5 inch one of the Prim. So this bundle right here, the biggest one is 6.5. So you may want to get these. I have the bundle listed in the links below to the Fat Quarter Shop if you want to get those, if you're ordering something else at the Fat Quarter Shop, or if you're getting your kit from Two Chicks Quilting, you can buy these rulers individually. You can just pick which one you want, right? And then add those to your order. If you have already ordered, if you have pre-ordered the Prim kit with the USB or not, you know, the USB, the fabric, whatever, if you've ordered any of that and you want to get a ruler, go ahead and get it. And on checkout, put store pickup. Okay, put a store pickup. Then they will take your ruler and put it on hold for your kit, so you don't have to pay double shipping. Okay, so that's nice. Yeah. Okay. Quilt cut, Cute Cuts. They're Lori Holt. Okay, so yesterday I got in a bundle of stuff from the Fat Quarter Shop. You saw that in the thumbnail. Today we can open the Sew Sampler too. And if we've got time, I don't know. We might do it tomorrow. So they've got a new book out called Fat Quarters by the Dozen. This is very cool. You got 12 fat quarters and don't know what to do with them. Lots of us have fat quarter bundles, right? Maybe if you've got one with at least 12, here you go. You could totally make these quilts out of your stash. There is also a pattern in here for a table runner, but it's very cool the way they've done this book. I like that it is spiral bound, so it will lay flat and stay flat. And then it's from the Fat Quarter Shop by their publishing company. It's So Emma. There are guides in here, turning a fat quarter into a pre-cut. So this is neat. You've got, from one fat quarter, you can get 2 10-inch squares and 4 5-inch squares, right? So 2 pieces of a layer cake, right? 4 pieces of a charm pack. So they go through and they show you how you can cut up your fat quarters to make these quilts, which is very handy. Very, very handy. So they have the line drawings of them in here. This one is called Beams. But you get an overall beautiful picture. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? That is so stinking pretty. This would be beautiful on a dark background. And these tops of these look like fireworks in the sky. Called the Blue Bonnets quilt on this one. Just gorgeous. Y'all, I've got bundles and bundles of fat quarters that need love, right? And I always sit around and go, what am I going to do with these? And then they'll give you the cutting for each fat quarter for that particular pattern. Very cool. Let me find another one. There was one that was in here that had a table runner, and I loved it. And then I do love the last quilt in the book. I should have tabbed these. Should have done that. That's an easy one there. These are easy. Look at pinwheels. Lots of pinwheels on that one. Isn't that cute? Fat quarters by the dozen, this is called. For it. It's So Emma. Look at this. You got some red, white, and blue fat quarters. There you go. Look at that. Very cool. Yep. And this is called Checkmate. I like it. You can do that. Very pretty. Nice quilt for a vet. Yeah. Doesn't have to be Quilts of Valor. Don't get all wrapped into that. Here's the last. It's called the Sunbeam quilt. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? I've got some fat quarters by Kim Deal. That would be beautiful in those. Inspiration, you guys. This is it right here. Look at that. Sunbeam. So this is fat quarters by the dozen. So those of you that have, check out this book. If you're looking for a new book, you'll like this one for sure. Okay. Fat quarters by the dozen for the Fat Quarter Shop by It's So Emma. Love it. Something new I got to add into my book, buddy. Yep. There's a new designer. I don't know if she's new. Her name is Cassidy Grace. I've never heard of Cassidy Grace. This is the first time I've ever received patterns from the Fat Quarter Shop for them. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, this is called Threaded Star Quilt and Table Runner. You can make either one by Cassidy Grace. So I love this table runner. My goodness, that's pretty. That is something I would totally do. I would totally do that. She also has this new pattern out called Rows of Bows. I have this link below as well. These Cassidy Grace. I love the, it's not on white. Is she Lori's daughter, Sandra? Really? She is Lori Holt's daughter. Thank you, guys. Deb wants to know if Book Buddy lets you scan. Yes, it does. But it only works on an Apple. Okay. There's another app. I've not used it, but it loaded okay. It's called My Bookshelf for Android. Okay. So very nice patterns. I guess keeping it all in the family, right? That's what happened with Sherry and Chelsea. Chelsea is Sherry's daughter. And then there's a new Completely Catty by Kim Deal to stitch on one of those bags. Got another pattern for that. A lot of you like stitching on these bags. Cross stitch. You know, Kim Deal, she's a pattern designer, fabric designer. I was looking at this and I was like, how does her brain think? How does her brain work? Because I could never do this. And I love that she does, but every month I'm getting patterns from Kim Deal. So like all the time she just thinks of patterns and crazy. I admire that so much. Just like Lori Holt, right? Just like Lori Holt. All right, we got a couple minutes left. Let's go ahead. It is the last day of the month. I think I can get into the Sew Sampler. I think I can. If it's, yes, this month's. If they haven't released it yet, that's their problem. It's the last day of the month and we're here, right? The way I feel. They ask us to wait. This is the September 2025 Sew Sampler box. We're doing it cold. I just opened the box. So this is bees and braids. Look at that. And this is the paper for it. And it has the deal on the back is receive a free 9-inch jelly braid paper roll with your next $40 purchase. Okay, and we have Jelly Roll Cabin Shortcut Quilt. Let me hide the codes. There we go. Very cute. Look at that shortcut quilt. That's a cute one. Free pattern in there that comes with it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Let's see what we have. We have a 5-inch jelly braid paper, 5-inch wide jelly braid paper. So you can sew on those and keep your braids straight. DVS Quilter says it's a good box. You see Autumn Love on my wall? Yeah, I'm going to be working on that. Still working on it. There is a jelly roll of sun-drenched. My glasses, do I have them here? I can't see. Get a jelly roll of sun-drenched. I don't know if it's a full 40. I think this looks like, I don't know if it's a 20. It should tell me on here. Oh, look at you, Kim. She says she already printed the jelly roll cabin pattern and allocated a flannel jelly roll to do it. Awesome. How nice is that? So this is Buzz Into the Warmth of Honey Golden Sunshine with the sun-drenched junior jelly roll. Yeah. Value of $26.98. This is adorable. There's a tote bag pattern that I downloaded from the Fat Quarter Shop, and it has a jelly roll braid right through the center of it. And I mean, I just downloaded it the other day. I'm not kidding. When I did my reservations for what I want to make coming up. And look at this. Here you go. I might use this. Very nice. And that's the perfect size. It was just a regular tote bag, right? It's the perfect size for that. We got another quilt project book. I am jotting notes down. I have another one over there on my desk. I'm flipping through these pages like crazy. Not all of it quilt related. I'm taking notes. I'm on the phone. I'm doing stuff. It's nuts. What do we have here? A seam ripper from Clover. A cute little, I can't use this. It's going to go in my giveaway bin. I can't use this. I have to use my husband's seam ripper. It's a rule, right? Am I going to show trimming with the ruler? Yes, Cindy, I will. Absolutely. Okay. Here is the Dutch Braids Table Runner. Look at that. There is the pattern you can use with the roll of paper. I love it. And the mini jelly roll. I love that. And then what else do I need? I need 5/8 yard of background and border, 1 3/4 yards for backing, and 1/2 yard of binding. So that's what you need. There is a finishing kit. Okay. There you go. So there's a couple of bags that I want to make before I go to Houston. And one of them is it's called the Chatelaine. It's a wallet that it's long crossbody. I don't know where I got the pattern. So I saw it at a show a couple years ago, and I ordered the pattern and I forgot that I ordered it. And I really want to make it, but I'm out of time because we leave Friday for Houston for the market. And then the flowering pattern, the freesia quilt block. There you go. So this is the block of the month that comes in the Sew Sampler box. If you're in a quilt desert, these are a lot of fun to get, these Sew Samplers. This is the one for September 2025. So sometimes if there's extras, you can catch them. And, you know, I like that braid look. I remember when I first started my quilting journey that it was Missouri Star was doing braids with jelly rolls. So pretty neat. I've never done one with the paper. I'm not a fan of paper because of like paper, not just paper piecing, but anything that has to do with stitching on paper, because then you have to go to the extra step to get rid of it. Even with a tiny stitch length, it's like, oh, goodness. I do love the braid look. Yep. You leave Wednesday for Houston? Awesome, Connie. Yeah. So spent quite a bit of time yesterday working on the video for you guys for the members only video. I'm snap-appliquing the Bunny Hill Designs Prairie Days quilt. I am working on block 1. All right. And I will tell you, so we're doing the cow, the star, the milk can. There's 2 cows in this block and the barn. And it requires quite a bit of redrawing. So these patterns were never meant to be embroidery designs, and I have no desire to stitch one at a time around these. And I am getting to be quite the pro with the Bezier tool in Embrilliance. So lots and lots of work going on that. And I should have that video done for y'all, hopefully by the middle of next week. We leave Friday. And so that'll be the first full week of October. So the first full week of the month is when that is. But I can't wait to get started on actually stitching that. I will do a test stitch out first, but I'm just very excited to be doing that and getting it going. But, well, you guys, this is all. Am I going to make the Grinch tree skirt? I think so, Teeny Talkie. I think so. That the intent is to make it, yeah. We don't put up a big tree anymore. So to me, and we don't hardly ever eat at our dining room table. So to me, being able to put a smaller tree skirt, right, with the Grinch was perfect. Oh, I want to show you guys. I got to show you guys. I have a link to this below. Y'all gonna love this. Let me get off of that. Embroiderers. OESD has come up with a contract with Warner Brothers. Yay. So look at this. I got on the site the other day and I was like, oh my goodness, I love Frosty the Snowman. You can now get the Frosty the Snowman designs. You can do the shop here and take a look at this. Oh my goodness. It has a thread chart for you and everything. So they have got the designs included in the collection. Look at this. Or you can buy them individually. Isn't that cute? I love this. Oh my goodness. What an adorable patch, right? That is just awesome. I don't do summer. Very, very cute. What a trip down memory lane. Now, you can go to, let's see here, Embroidery Designs. And then I was looking for, they have a whole list of just, here we go. Here's Warner Brothers. Let's click on that. So in the Warner Brothers section, there is your Harry Potter freestanding Hogwarts. For you Harry Potter fans, oh my goodness. I want one of y'all to make this and show it in our Facebook group. Go ahead, click the button. But I have a link below to the OESD designs. Oompa Loompas. So there is some Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in here. The Flintstones. Okay. Look at that. Everlasting Gobstopper. Oh my goodness. Now, I don't know what these things are. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, y'all. Oh my goodness. The Goonies. All right. Oh my gosh. Can you stand this? I just love this. So yeah, lots of Harry Potter. There is all kinds. There's an everlasting gobstopper. Okay. And they have these things called chibis. I don't know what these are. This is, I did not have children when these in the house when these came out. But there is a real Superman, all of this stuff. So you guys get on here, scroll around, see what's going on. Let's see. These are the cartoons. I just love this. Love it, love it, love it. And I want to make something there's Dino. Oh my goodness. So as you get down in here, they do have the Green Lantern and Superman. And here we're getting into the Harry Potter stuff now. There you go. Look at that. Love this. Yep. Love it. Absolutely love it. There is the classic Batman. There he is. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys that OESD has come up with that kind of stuff. And what fun. Yeah. Let's introduce our grandchildren to the old days when it was good and normal and healthy to play. The Tasmanian Devil, I know, just the cutest stuff. I was a huge Pinky and the Brain fan. I was a big fan of that. No Pepe Le Pew. I know. That's so sad. So sad. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew definitely gave you the idea of there's some wolves out there. You need to be able to spot them in a minute. Yeah, you want to see where to get the Grinch tree skirt? Okay, I will find it and I'll put the link below, Linda, for sure. Yeah, OESD is going to have fabulously stitched designs. They also, y'all, I'm going to start looking on here. I'm waiting we're almost done. We've got 2 minutes. Let me jump back onto their website. I want to show you, for you long armors. Let me see. Did I do that correctly? Let me stop that. For you long armors, let me share the screen again. All the time now, let me come back up here. They have long arm quilting designs. Okay. So here you go. And they started with the tulip pink stuff, but if you come here, let's see, the long arm quilting, let's click on the long arm quilting button right up there. And there we go. Let me accept that one and get out of all the ads. So Panto Print, now you can print your own pantographs if you want to drive from the back of the machine. Okay, so here you go. But they are coming out with all new designs all the time. So you have edge to edge, blocks, borders, and motifs. All right. They've got thread they're doing. Let's hit the edge to edge. See what they've got here. There you go. The Winnie the Pooh, y'all. Winnie the Pooh. Ah, love it. This is precious. That's a beautiful design right there. We've got pumpkins for the fall. Okay. Just lovely, lovely stuff. There's your Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie. So these designs are more than 100 years old and the copyright on them has expired. So they can now, plus their work, those Disney ones, which is Winnie the Pooh, right? And Mickey Mouse. Look at this. These are digital downloads. So take a look at OESD as well for, look at that. There's Mickey and Minnie and it's on sale. Yep. So anyway, wanted to show you guys that. Lots of inspiration in today's video. All right, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. I have got to get back on my prairie days. So excited to get that finalized and then get stitching on it so I can show you the finished block in the video next week. I just love y'all. Thank you so much for visiting with me. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Be sure to subscribe and join the membership for members-only videos. It's only 99 cents a month, one video a month. All right, y'all. I hope you get into your sewing room for 20 minutes, even if it's just to sit there and stare and think, what am I going to do? All right. We'll talk to you soon. Go sew something. Bye.